Alright, and into round 3. Playing first again. This seems like a reasonable hand. So let's see how this goes. Scudder on turn 3 is always exciting. Wayfinder, sure. Surprised there were any of those left. I suppose we did pass a couple of them once we decided that we weren't actually going into that plant. Throwing away a spider is good, because that's one less thing that can actually block our scudder. Yep. Ow. Deal with it. And by that I mean please don't actually deal with it. Alright, sure. I'm sure it's either a Titanic strength or is just pretending to have a Titanic strength, and 1 damage is not worth calling him on that. Sure. Okay, so I was going to play the Shade this turn, but I think playing both of these is going to be better. Because the flying beatdowns, especially the early flying beatdowns, are probably going to get us there this game. If he's in black, then our Accursed Spirits, if we ever actually manage to draw them, aren't necessarily going to be quite as good. We just have to hope he's much heavier green than black, which is what he appears to be at the moment. Rats of his own. I have to assume the Wayfinder is still coming in, because he would happily trade a Wayfinder for my rats. Ooh. Okay. Well, Scudder dealt 3 damage to each of us and then took out 2 of his cards. So I consider that a success. And there's the spirit I was just talking about. Right. So, moment of truth, do you actually have black creatures in your hand? Nice. But I got to assume, like, if he's holding onto a Witch's Familiar or something, then it's coming out now. Rotfeast Maggot. Yep, that answers that pretty well. I'll keep on attacking with the crow, though. Play the Shade, because if we rip another land, then it could probably attack with Threat of Activation, because it will kill the maggot. Like, if he tries to block it with the maggot, then the maggot dies, and then the Cursed Spirit can get through. We do still have to be wary of the fact that we think he has a pump spell in hand, because of that attack in the early game. So if he's still got mana up, then we can't necessarily, even if we do rip a land, we can't necessarily attack with the Shade, because you could block with the Rot Feast of Maggot and, you know, Titanic Strength it. Or Titanic Growth. I always get it mixed up with Titan Strength. But yeah, if he's still got 2 mana up, which he does, then we can't actually attack with the Shade. Because we can make it a 6/6 right now. But Titanic Strength makes this a 7/9. So instead, just keep attacking with the Crow, chipping away at him. And drop the Familiar. White. Maybe just because, yeah, just because it was the top of the list. Alright. More Shamans. Alright, this board is getting pretty cluttered. Fortunately, this doesn't actually kill the maggot, so might just have to keep attacking with the Crow, and then if he never plays a target for this, well, it's 2 less turns of Crow attacks. Jeez. Still got 4 mana, got another Shaman. Wow. Some Shaman tribal deck on our opponent's side, and this Accursed Spirit, not that concerning. Like, if he does start trying to attack with it, we can block with, you know, Witch's Familiar or something. So I think we just keep on attacking in the air, play out our Griffin. I don't think we need to covenant anything just yet. Yeah, Accursed Spirit is not good for our opponent with how much black we have in this deck. For those of you who may have forgotten, it's a lot of black. This is our white creature. We have one of them. Siege Worm is also not a huge concern. Sure, it tramples over the Typhoid Rats, but it still dies. And we have enough of a life buffer to take, 4 off the Siege Worm and kill it. Alright, so if he doesn't play, like a spider or a reach creature or something, like a spider or a flyer, or kill one of our flyers or something this turn, then he's dead to Covenant of Blood. And alright, he tapped the Verdant Haven, so he doesn't actually have the mana to activate that. He would have needed another land anyway, which he has. Okay. Yeah, he should not have tapped the Verdant Haven to cast that, because now he does not have the mana to burn one of our flyers this turn. I was probably hoping to do that next turn, And he's just realised exactly that. Yeah, he's just realised that he didn't keep the red up, so he can't actually burn one of our flyers, which means he's actually dead this turn. Yep. And even if this doesn't work somehow, if we've got instant speed life gain or something, then like he kills one of the flyers, the other one hits him for 2, and then stab wound hits him for another 2. Like we can stab wound on the Nightfire Giant or something. Alright. Sideboards. He's very heavy green, so I don't think we'd take the Accursed Spirits out even if we had something to bring in, and we don't have something to bring in. We've been over this. Never sideboard. Sideboarding is for losers. I may be wrong about that. Alright. If we draw a land, we get Scudder on 3. And we're on the draw. And we have Black Cat to hold us over a little bit. I think we keep this. We could very easily get Mana Screwed with this hand. But we're on the draw, so we have 3 draw steps to hit a land, and we can play the Scudder. And then a 4th draw step will let us play a Cursed Spirit. A 4th land will let us play a Cursed Spirit. So I think that keep was okay. A bit risky, but not too much. Okay, that's always a good sign. I'll play Black Cat, stop him from ever attacking with that Elvish Mystic again. Or the Sliver, for that matter. Yeah, that Sliver is not a concern to us. We're not attacking with unevasive ground guys very often. We're either attacking with flyers or attacking with Accursed Spirits. Now, if this was a Typhoid Rats, it would be a lot scarier, because Accursed Spirit. Yeah, I didn't think attacks. No plays either. That's always a good sign. Hey, we got our 4th land. Alright, so Scuddered this turn, Accursed Spirit next turn. Multiple evasive threats from different evasion axes. Evasives. Evasive versions. Things what he can't block. What I'm saying is that they can't be blocked for different reasons, and so he would need to have different answers for them. So like that can block the Accursed Spirit. No, it's a trade at the moment, and it's a trade I'm perfectly happy to make, but it can't block the Scudder. And if it played, you know, Netcaster Spider, then that would be able to block the Scudder, but it wouldn't be able to block the Accursed Spirit. I knew what I meant. Double Offshade is not quite that amazing with Venom Sliver out there, but at least one of them will trade for the Sliver, and then the other one can start being irritating. So playing out the Spirit anyway. If he happens to rip a mountain here, then scary times, but it looks like he didn't. And I'm definitely attacking with that Spirit. If he wants to block with the Nightfire Giant, I am A-okay with that. Because that Nightfire Giant is going to get very scary. The instant he rips a mountain, suddenly it can block the Spirit for free or just burn it out of the air. Well, not air, but it's not a flying creature. But see my previous statement regarding I know what I mean. Do I just do that? I'm missing out on an opportunity to attack. But I can kill the Nightfire Giant right now. I have to tap all of my creatures to do it. He gets to hit me back for a lot. If he rips the mountain, he can play the mountain, he can shoot the Accursed Spirit immediately. Covenant still kills it, even if he draws the mountain, because it's only a 5/4. But he does get to... Yeah, so I'm risking the Spirit if I just attack here. But if I just burn it out, then I don't get to attack him this turn. And I'm attacking him for 6, which is a lot. I think I just still attack. Play out some more creatures. Because I can play the Shade here, and then next turn, even if I don't draw another land, I can still Covenant and still attack with something. If I do draw a land, then I can Covenant and attack with both of these. Intriguing. Spider. Alright. Land? Yes. Alright. Alright. So I'm killing the giant. That is not in question. I'm tapping the black cat to do it. I'm tapping 5 lands to do it. I'm not tapping the spirit because the spirit can attack. Question is, what do I want to do? Which of these two would I rather tap to cast Covenant? Scudder trades with the spider. I think that's a trade I'm willing to make because I have Shadowcloak Vampire, which also theoretically flies. Whereas Shade, I'm definitely not attacking with this turn, and probably not blocking with it either. So boom, go away. And I am still attacking with the Scudder to trade it with the spider. Because even if I don't attack with it, if neither of us attack with those creatures, they're effectively trading anyway. And he still has that thing on the board that could theoretically block other things. So trading them off seems better. So he has an opening here to attack with Siege Worm, but I don't think he's going to want to. And there's the red mana. So he killed it just in time. Well, not really just in time. He only has 4 lands, 4 mana. But yeah, I did not want to leave that thing sitting around for too much longer. Okay, so what are my options now? Hit with the Spirit, obviously. Hit with the Shade, it trades with the Sliver. You can't block with Siege Worm because we can make it a 6/6. But it will probably trade with the Sliver. And then we can drop the other Shade. I think that's a plan. The Accursed Spirit is a clock on its own, and the other Durdles are just mostly... I don't think there's much that we can do to increase the clock for the Accursed Spirit. But what we can do is make it so that if he does have an answer to the Accursed Spirit, then we have other options. Is this a second Siege Worm? No, it's Caustic Tar. we are a long way from that mattering. Sure. He didn't have any cards in hand anyway, so it wasn't much point. I think he knows the writing's on the wall as well, and it's just doesn't want to lose with me on 20, I guess. Okay, so pretty much going through the motions at this point. These two attack, he blocks with the Elvish Mystic. We drop the Vampire, and he has a turn to draw something relevant. And that's not to say he can't draw something relevant, but it has to be pretty relevant. What would he even have to draw? He has to deal with both the Spirit and the Vampire, because nothing he has currently deals with either of those. Like the Green Fog would at least hold me off for a turn, but it wouldn't actually get him closer to answers. I don't even get him to discard a card because he's out of cards. Oh, and I lose 3 life. Oh no, he targeted himself. Well, 2 and 1. So yeah, the deck had some good cards in there. The filler could have been a lot better, like, because it had, you know, the Scudder and the Accursed Spirits and the Shades and these sort of powerful cards that can just win the game, but it was missing some of the more filler cards, because there were probably a few picks where I could have taken, you know, reasonable, you know, Witch's Familiar type cards, and I instead took the self-mill cards, like the Wayfinders, which brought the power level down from the deck a bit. So on the games where I actually drew the powerful cards, I had a pretty good chance, but on the games where I was drawing nothing, I didn't have the rest of the deck to support me until I actually drew the powerful cards. But I still managed to get 2 wins out of there because I drew well enough. So I'm happy with that, and I'll see you guys next week. Actually, probably won't see you next week, because next week I'll be at GP Sydney. But the week after that, I'll be back here playing drafting with LoadingReadyRun peoples. I'll see you then.